I'm very happy to be joined by one of the top stars in British wrestling, probably the busiest man this Forbidden Door weekend. I say man, Mercedes Moné now seemingly has a very busy weekend as well, 4 and 5 days or whatever it is. But three big matches coming up for this man. He's sicker than your average Jay Joshua. Jay, how you doing, man? We're just a day away from a very busy weekend.
No, man, I am going to be absolutely exhausted, but I am the most excited I've been in my whole life. Like, I cannot wait, man. I cannot wait. Like, no, tomorrow cannot come fast enough.
I mean, it feels like it feels much the same for me as well, and I'm just going to be around as a fan, so I can't imagine what you're thinking of. But we'll start with this past Sunday. You were down in Southampton for RevPro, yourself and Connor Mills punching your ticket to the final of the Great British Tag League, defeating the Sons of Southampton in Southampton, to win Block B, undefeated as well. I watched on a live stream. It was a great match. How did you find that one?
Oh yeah, man, I had a blast in it, but apart from the crappy AI theme they had, like, I had a blast though. Like, even though it was quite hostile actually being in there, like.
Yeah.
um actually being in a match with like them uh, in their own ends, it was fun. I had a blast, man. I had a blast, and they were like, no, I would not have said would have had like no fun if we didn't win, and it but we actually won, so I'm happy. I'm happy.
Yeah, that must have been the most hostile reaction you've had for a minute. Because I mean, we can break down the walls here. You and Mills, you're the cool heels, right? Um, so that must have been a hostile reaction, which is kind of rare for you now.
Oh, it is rare now. Yeah, like no, we didn't. To be fair, like the more like months that went by, and we kind of like no under like no we kind of had a feeling how much the crowd actually quite liked us. So then it was weird. So then we just played up on it. So then it's just fun. And it, but being like there last week and like how much they hate us only for like a minute, and it, but then yeah, it was just a surreal experience again. I was like, oh, I'm actually a heel again. It's weird.
Yeah, yeah, those guys love David Francisco for some reason.
I don't get it. Honestly, I really like. He's great anyway, and like, but it's the fact that he's not actually from there. That's what makes me laugh. Is that's why I'm the one. I'm always like, I do not get it. Like, no, if he was actually from there, I would go, okay, fair. But I'm lost for words. Honestly, like he's like a god there. Like, I do not get it.
And I mean, same for JJ as well. I mean, he's not from there. He went to uni down there or something, I think.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, no, I'm pretty sure he lives like 2 hours away from there. And it, but yeah, but yeah, their name is the Sons of Southampton. And then I'm like, you guys ain't even born there. That's what I do not get. And then, but as a tag though, they are very, very fun to like, to
Yeah.
watch. And but the theme was just, oh, I was dying to laugh. It was just so funny, so funny.
Yeah, well, I mean, we saw you taking a nap during their entrance.
Oh no, because that Dave has the longest intro in the UK scene at the minute, and like I always forget, but yeah, all these names and they were coming up, and I was like, okay, Mills, if you let me know as soon as he's done, I'm just gonna have a nap, like because like it was saying like oh the home away from home and like oh the prodigal son of Southampton and like oh he said like Mary's his child and all that stuff, and I was like, oh come on, hurry up, I just wanted to wrestle, and I was like, okay, any minute now, so I just wanted to lay in for
Yeah.
like a bit. I was tired enough as it was, so then I was like, okay, let me have a little nap for like a sec.
Yeah, however tired you were there, and you might be more tired coming up at the end of this weekend, I'm sure.
Oh, 100%, man, 100%. But it's gonna pay off, hopefully.
Yeah,
Hopefully it
of
will.
course. Of course. And obviously in that match you got to prove you're the dominant JJ in RevPro. Maybe Joshua James will have something to say about that when he gets back. But it just makes this coming weekend that bit bigger with the tag match on night two.
Oh, mate, like I've I've been a fan of Manda's and like since the 16 carat last year. It was when I first like met him and I first met Thomas. So then I was like, and I was just blown like away by him. And then like a few months later, and they've become like a tag team. And I was like, okay, this could be a possible tag match happening. But I didn't think it was going to happen in the final. But I am super pumped to have them at the Palace, you know. Cannot wait. Cannot wait, man.
Yeah, obviously, I think it's been a little over a year now since you've been in RevPro. So
Yeah.
this rise to being one of the top guys has been really rapid. Um, but it was pretty soon after you debuted, you ended up teaming with Mills. So how did that team come about first?
So it became, it only became a tag team only because of being on his like no team for Global was. It was only just to get
Mm,
me
yeah,
actually in the and in the match itself. But then a few of the people at the back, like the wrestlers and a few of the people, like a few of the fans, and they were going, JJ and Mills actually look cool as hell as a tag. So then we gave Andy actually gave us a shot at the very next show then, and I'm pretty sure it was no. I lie actually. It was the week just before the show of Global Wars. It was me and Mills against Oku and Zoya, and and the and the way that fans actually reacted online and with me and like no Mills as a tag, it was kind of like, oh, we could actually make like a fin out of this, and then it just became like so fast and like I did not expect it to like happen like as quick as it did. But I'm grateful to like have him at my side and to like I rubbed off him in a good way. Only because then like I don't think I could have actually made the impact I could have made in a year if I wasn't around Mills.
yeah. I want to ask about that because obviously Mills is someone who was an established star in RevPro before that point. He's been there for years with Oku, and obviously he turns on Oku, turned to the dark side, and then yeah, he's a guy who's been a big star for them. How beneficial was that for you getting to team with someone, getting that rub almost?
Oh mate, like especially on like on the on the aspect of the back of just trying to learn off him as well.
Yeah.
Especially like like not really much like how to act. It's just like how to be better than the ring mainly as well. And plus he's like because like of the tags we uh, we actually had, and I was just getting a lot more at ease in the ring of being in front of the rev, like the brand and the crowd and the production and stuff. And then he's just helped me feel like a lot more at ease with it, you know.
Yeah, of course. Obviously he teams with Nico Angelo in a lot of places as well. That's someone you know well.
Oh
How
yeah,
likely is it that we're gonna see that trio down the line?
we've we've like actually been talking about it for I say for since November. I like and then, but we've like just like haven't had a platform to actually do it. We don't really want to just do it in like just for the sake of it. We just want to like do it at a bigger stage, at a platform, like hopefully like a Rev Pro, a Progress. Hopefully I'll finally get the Progress at some point, and then like we want to do it even even at those two shows. We don't want to just throw it at like I don't mean like little like shows. I just mean it like we've got to make it meaner, like it's got to be like a massive deal, and especially when like all of us three are good mates anyway.
Yeah.
So then like we've got a clear understanding of each other of what we want anyway. So then like hopefully like it does happen, but hopefully who knows that us three could show up on Monday. Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows? You mentioned progress there. Obviously, Monday, maybe you're alluding to that. Who knows? Has there been obviously a conversation with you and them? Because obviously that's one of the main places that you've not been at this point. Has there been any potential of that?
Um, Not much of a potential as a tag, and but a potential of myself in the past, and
Yeah.
but the only thing I will say was that I was meant I've got asked for a date a few months ago, and but I was not free. I had Rev instead.
Mm.
So then I was a little bit gutted, especially when the match I had, uh, I I actually got offered was quite big, and but then I was like, oh, I can't. I got Rev instead, and but then ever since then I haven't had any word, and but hopefully, like no, I would like to, who knows, man, who knows.
Of course, of course. Um, yeah, but I mean, obviously coming into RevPro with Mills, you kind of took to the company like a duck to water, instantly getting those big reactions from the crowd, instantly finding yourself in big spots. Your seventh match in RevPro, you had a few other guys, but you had Tanahashi across the ring from you. What was that experience like for you being in the ring with the Ace?
Honestly, it was the most nerve wracking experience I ever had. It and I when like I was told I was going to be in that match a few like about it was I say it was a few weeks prior to it, and I got told I was going to be in that match, and I was like, nah, you're lying. You, this can't be like no. I've only just been here, and like
Mm.
the fact that like I walked in the room as well, and Tanahashi was right there, and I was like, it's the ace of New Japan. He's the one who he was the one who made like New Japan of what it is now. And like and in my head I was screaming. I was playing like as cool as I can, like here, like I was stone faced and everything. And then but in my head I was screaming. I was like, oh my god, I'm actually gonna be in the ring up against him. And like even if it was like a little bit, the fact that I was in the ring opposite him was just incredible, man. Like truly honored to be in the ring with him, man. Honestly, unreal, unreal.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to watch that match back. Did you get much one-on-one time with him in that match?
Oh, we did, yeah. Like no,
Yeah.
it was one of the first it was one of the first things I did as well, and I was like, and and like he gets tagged in, and I was like, oh, this is happening. Oh, this is happening. Uh-oh. And yeah, I was so nervous and but yeah, man, it was great. And especially afterwards and the feedback he was giving everyone and but then the feedback he gave to me was that he said, "You are very, very good." And I was like, "Oh, oh wow." So then especially at the feedback of him and he thought that was good, my confidence just went, but not like arrogance, my confidence just went sky high. And like I was comfortable then, and from like no now on in a good way. I was just felt at ease of going like, oh, I actually feel like I belong here now. And then I felt like, oh, I can do something here. Hopefully I can do, yeah. And like he was such like an incredible like man, and like his presence as well. Like like he does not have to say a word, and you're just blown away. And then you're like, oh my god, that's Tanahashi, the coolest man ever, coolest man ever.
Obviously, I just want to touch on one thing. Another man in that match was Zozaya. You've kind of been intertwined with him a little bit lately too. Obviously, your first win in RevPro was against him. Then earlier in the title tournament, you guys meet again, and then you were building on from that, and you did that last man standing match with him in Coventry. What was it? What's it been like working with him? Because obviously, he's a guy that he's probably not long for this independent scene, right? What's it like been working with him?
Oh me, I know like people are so like heavily like on the kayfabe aspect and stuff, and they're like, oh, these two hate each other and all that stuff. But like in the realness of it, I love the dude. He's like he is so infectious. It is absolutely crazy. Like no, how he actually acts in the ring is like how he is outside. He's just so infectious, and like working with him was so fun, and especially when me and him and they're like no, actually like no said at the start as we started this feud of going like me and you were seen as like the top like um the prospects here. We got to try and make like all of this mean as much as we like no can, and it, but hopefully like we did to like some like no fans to make it mean like something like huge in it. But the fact that Andy actually put a lot of faith in us of like having the first ever last man standing match in RevPro history was just yeah, man. It was just it was so fun to work with him because he's just so energetic. He's so infectious, like and like and even though he hasn't been doing it for that long, I've I've learned already so much of him, and like he's just got something about him, and you just cannot explain it. Like you just want to get behind him as a face, and you're like, he is incredible. Like he is so good, and like every time I was in the ring with him, like I can match his energy so much. So he did help me more than he actually thinks he does.
Obviously, going back a bit, you made your name on the Welsh scene prior to, breaking out even further, to the point where you had people clamoring for you to come in these bigger companies. The Welsh scene just seems so special at the moment. I mean, I know people from England that they don't particularly live close to Wales, but they're making that trip for attack shows. But obviously, you got Attack, New Wave, killing it at the minute. What do you think it is about that scene that has allowed it to kind of grow and flourish the way that it has?
As corny as it sounds, all of us are trying to help each other out. We're not trying to back like no stab like no everybody. We're trying to put like no our like no our spot as the top spot, and we're trying to like push like no people put like no down and stuff. All of us are trying to help each other out, and we actually thought the Welsh scene was going to be dead after COVID hit, and only because like of uh, circum uh, the circumstances of like of speaking out and stuff, and then and like we actually thought the Welsh scene was dead, and then but Brendan just like he gambled so much of himself to brand New Wave, and like
Mm.
and he actually saved the Welsh scene, and then you had like Wild like no Bo Hitchman, and then Danny like no Jones and Danny Luna helping us out as well, and it's because I actually thought I was gonna be done. I was gonna quit like a few years ago, but then they actually really like no vamped me again, and I would not be the wrestler I am now if it wasn't for them, and like New Wave itself, as like I said, all of us are just trying to help each other out because um, if we can help each other out, and as you saw, the Welsh like scene is as big as it's ever been. If
Yeah.
not, it's the biggest it's ever been, and because like all of us are helping out, and we're making every single person in Wales better. And the fact is because of that, it's put a lot of eyes on the Welsh like no scene, man. And I'm just like, I'm grateful to be a part of that. I'm just lucky, honestly, man, because being like around like as like I said, Wild like Bo, Brendan, Danny Luna, Danny Jones, Nico Angelo, Elijah, Splits McPins. I can name like about 20 of them, and like, and even like a next lot now of us, like your Shane Hook, your Leon Cage, your James Ellis's, and it's your Tommy Rills, and then I'm like, oh wow, like it just seems, it always seems like it's just like tears of like not really much like experiences. It's just like a next wave of just us lot. It just keeps building and building and building. So then after Leon like Cage and Shane Hook and Vril and James Ellis, there will be others then, and it's just growing, and it's just honestly, man, it's just I am like. I am extremely lucky. I'm just around all of them lot, man. Cool as hell, man. Cool as hell.
Of course. And obviously a lot of the names you mentioned there, the Brendan, Danny Jones, Wild Boar, Danny Luna, they got that top level experience from NXT UK and obviously Danny Luna still with TNA as well, which they can then just impart into these guys.
Oh yeah, man. Like because of their like no experiences being like no signs, and they've just
Yeah.
rubbed off us and like and taught us. And they taught us so much as well. And the best part is, as like I said, like they don't have to help us out, but yet they always do. And like, and I don't mean like no help us out in the sessions because of course like no, and then they do, and they but
Yeah.
out like no sides. Even if they're at their homes and they would just give us like a message of just advice. That's what they do, and it's just yeah, man. It's just I'm like just I'm like extremely lucky that I'm Welsh. Honestly, man. It's one of the first few like no times that I'm lucky to be from you. Honestly, man, it's cool as hell. Cool as hell, bro.
Obviously, we've buried the lead a bit. Let's get into it now. This Friday, Tomohiro Ishii. I know this is a match that you've wanted for a while. Um, how did you find out you were getting the match, first and foremost?
Well, the first off, I will say is I've wanted this match ever since I became a trainee. Ever since I started, and I was just blown away by him because as I actually first started, I was just such a fan of New Japan and All Japan and Noah, but then especially when in 2018, the first year I was starting, I was just blown away by him. And like, I was just like, okay, hopefully one day I can just meet him, yell alone, wrestle him. And I was like, and especially when I met him at the Dome last year at Doncaster, and the fact that I was just like, that is Tomohiro Ishii, and he was the first person I saw as I walked in the venue, and I was like, oh wow. But I was manifesting it, as silly as that sounds, and it for like ever since I came here to Rev, and but yeah, as you like, if you might have like saw, and a few of the fans in there would see, soon as soon as I had the match and it with Tanahashi on Twitter straight away, I said I'm gonna be one on one with him, and like only just to see how the fans would like no and react. I did not expect so many fans to like be like and behind it, and then the more and more months actually went like by, so many fans, and they were going, "Is this happening? Is this happening?" And I was like, "I don't know. I really, really don't know." But then high stakes in April happened, and I had my match, and then interval happened, and then Andy then meets me down the stairs, and then he says, "I've been in contact with New Japan." Soon as he said that line, I was like, "Oh my god, no way!" It- but it took him a while, obviously, like no, to get like everything actually sorted, and
Yeah.
but the fact that like Andy was just trying since then, I was grateful for him, man. Honestly, like no, it was the fact that like he actually said I was the first person he had in his mind to wrestle Ishii, and I was like, oh wow, no way. But then a few weeks ago, I get a text off him, and he says it's gonna happen, and I was like, I was just, and it's not the smartest thing to like no do, but I was driving in the car, and I had the text actually pop up on my like holder thing on the dashboard, and I pulled up at the nearest uh, uh, at the nearest like no stop on the bus stop, and I just started to scream, and because I was like, oh my god, this is finally happening. To which it is a match I never actually dreamed about happening, because I actually thought like I was just some kid in Cardiff, and then like as silly as that sounds, I just didn't think it was going to be a reality. Like no, obviously like no, and if for Luke it was gonna happen because he was just on an absolute tear, and he still is. Like, but I didn't think I was gonna be ever on Rev. So when I started to get on Rev, and then I was getting used a lot more, a glimmer of hope, and it was just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I was just like, okay, is this gonna happen? And then once I found out that he was trying, and then as soon as I found out that he's coming, and then as soon as I found out that it is gonna be me, oh, it just felt like an out of body experience. You know, I was like, oh my god, I'm finally gonna wrestle a like hero of mine. Honestly, man, like 48 hours cannot come any faster enough. Like it will be the longest 48 hours of my life because it's all gonna drag. Because every time I always get it, every time I always get excited about something and I want something to happen, it will drag. And this will be the longest 48 hours of my life. But I honestly, man, I cannot wait. I cannot wait. It is the match I've been I've been dreaming of, but I didn't think it was gonna happen. Honestly, man, I'm so humbled for it. Like, cannot wait, man.
Yeah, I can't wait either. Obviously, you say you had a lot of fans coming up to you. They obviously like to bring Ishii in for these anniversary shows to kind of work with one of the RevPro guys. We saw it 2 years ago with Luke. Last year it was JJ. I mean, like going back a few months, to me, this felt like the natural match given your trajectory in RevPro, the way you wrestle. I'm sure you've had lots of people saying this kind of thing to you. But then Andy said in an interview a couple of days ago that when putting Global Wars together, like this is the match that he really wanted. Um, that's a big show of faith.
The pressure's even more now, especially when he said that. But I feel a lot more excited that I am on the pressure because I'm not gonna say I'm ready for it. Like no, of course I am, but like the fact that like being like face to face with him in the ring, I can't be ready for that. Like you can't like, especially when it's a hero of yours, you know, and like, but I am so pumped for it. Like I cannot wait. Like no, I've been waiting for this for months, and like but the fact that Andy actually has faith in me to have this match, it just makes me feel like I'm a lot more honored, humbled, and then I'm extremely thankful for him to put this match for me. You know, like because he didn't have to, but yeah, he did, and so then I'm just gonna try and make it like not really try and let like myself down, the fans down. I don't want to let Andy down now either, only because he was the one who tried so hard to get this match for me, you know. So, but mainly I don't want to let me down, you know. And like especially when like I don't want this to be like, God, I'm expecting so much, and then like not much happens because it is Ishii. He will go balls to the wall for this. And like, and you've seen me wrestle as well. Every match I do, I go balls to the wall. So hopefully, like, we just gel well together. And I feel like I'm confident, but not arrogant to like them say we're gonna gel well together. So I cannot wait, man.
Have you been watching any specific Ishii matches leading up to this? I mean, I asked this because last year I spoke to JJ ahead of his match with Ishii, and Ishii had just wrestled Callum Newman at the time. And obviously JJ and Newman, they knew each other so well, they teamed together. So JJ had that match to kind of watch and take inspiration from. Is there anything specific that you've watched from Ishii with the view of kind of taking inspiration from as we get to this one?
Yeah, I've watched so many of Ishii's singles matches for years now, and
Yeah,
but obviously, like I'm gonna watch the match with him against Luke at the Copper
mm,
Box, and like because that match was just like, like even though that's I'm like no fans, I actually like to say, oh, you know, the filming it's not amazing, but you can still but you can still hear and feel the entire building shaking in some moments in that match. And like, I'm not saying I'm gonna get to that in that match, but it is a goal of mine to actually get the entire room shaking. But him against Luke, the first one. But I've been a fan of him against Shingo at the G1 in 2019. Was just unreal. But uh, recently, when he was at Noah against Masa Kitamiya, the two matches
Yeah.
he had, the first two matches he had with him, I've watched them a lot as well because I'm a massive Kitamiya fan, and like,
Mhm.
and I feel like I kind of resemble him, like only like a tiny bit, because like because of the build that I have. I feel like I resemble well with like him. Obviously, like no like comparisons to a little bit of me and Luke because of how we actually work and wrestle. But I feel like on me as well, and I don't want to sound like cocky or like arrogant, but I feel like I'm unique as a heavyweight in this scene. I feel like I don't really wrestle the same way I do with like most people. But that's not like no I'm saying like I'm better. I just feel like I try to wrestle as completely different to everyone else. And but yeah, those were the four of the matches I've watched the most recently because as silly as it sounds, the pressure of the comparisons with Luke and like Ishii's match on their first time, obviously like no the bar's been set so high. So I feel like I've got to try and surpass it. But it is a long shot. But it is if I can if I can actually get as close to it, I'm happy. If I can get as close, like there is them. If I can get as close to there, I'll be happy, man. I'll be happy.
Of course, of course. I mean, I'm very excited for one. So, yeah. I do just want to touch on, we've talked about the tag match, we've talked about that match. I do just want to touch on your other match this weekend. Tomorrow night, Pro Wrestling Ceasefire. Yourself, Emerson, Jayne, Kuro, a triple threat match that when they posted that graphic a few days ago, a lot of people, myself included, got very excited about. It really caught the imagination. I know you've wrestled Emerson before at Attack. Is this the first time with Kuro?
First time, and we've like only met two times, and we've both like no said I want to work with you, and it's just never happened. But then I did not know uh, the match I was going to be in at first. I knew that I was on, but then while like no, I was in Berlin for 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 um the Rev like no show on the weekend. I got told I was going to be having M2, and I was like, oh wow, oh hell yeah, especially when like now after the match announcement Emerson has got now.
Yeah.
This match feels like it's a lot bigger now as well. So then, like us three are like no are the type to go all out for this anyway. Like no, it ain't like no if we're gonna go. Oh, we got this matches on the weekend and we kind of need like to like hold like no back like a bit. Sod that. No way. This is ceasefire. Like I will go all out for this, and like
Yeah.
hopefully like Emerson will, but she is a lunatic, so
Yeah.
she will. And then, but then I finally get to go face to face and then with someone that's cool, and like aura much as aura much as Kuro as well because he is so cool, and like I finally get to work like him, and a bit Emerson then in the mix. Hopefully, like fireworks are gonna happen, man, and like that's the plan. Anyway, I cannot wait. I cannot wait, especially when it's seen as the second show of the weekend because Hustle is later,
Yeah.
and this feels like it's like the kickoff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no,
Mhm.
like ceasefire is like happening on Forbidden Door weekend on a Thursday, and like it's just gonna yeah, man. the crowd's just gonna be deafening, I think. And like it was one, and I worked there a few months ago, and it was one of the most fun shows I had in years. Honestly, it was so fun to do, and like I am so hyped to like, I'm so hyped to like actually actually have this match, man. Cannot wait for it. Can't wait.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be there tomorrow night as well, so
Oh
I'm
yeah,
very excited for this one. Yeah. Emerson Jayne, pound for pound, nuttiest wrestlers in the business.
she is. Yeah, like it is not like no. She's like in the mix. She is the craziest wrestler I have. Like the amount of bumps that she actually takes, self-inflicted. I might add you. She's just a lunatic, and like, and like the fact is, in a good way, she's not that big either. But
No,
yet she's
tiny.
tiny, and like the bumps that she actually takes, I'm like, no, 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 no. You're like, and you're just wild. Like, and the fact that she's like, she has that match now on Friday. Well earned for her. Well earned for her because, and she's she's been on the mix and like and due for so long to have that big like match on a platform like it it's just yeah like me and her in the past few years now have been like mates for so long and like the fact is like no she has that match like now I am so absolutely buzzing for her and like it was the fact that she was one of the first ones who messaged me after my match with like no Ishii and like it it shows our friendship as well and it but knowing like no she has that match herself even cooler man like no like and it's well earned for her too honestly man because and she's been so like overlooked off the women
Hmm.
for so long.
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad man, I'm glad.
Yeah, I was giddy a couple hours ago when that match got announced. I was like giddy seeing that match. I can't wait for that one. I'm not gonna take up too much time. I want to thank you for taking the time to DJ. Obviously, a busy few days ahead. Thursday, Ceasefire. Friday, Global Wars, Tomohiro Ishii. Saturday, we got the Tag League final. Um, just finally, I mean, a lot of people are going to be looking into this Tomohiro Ishii match. Very quickly, give us the hard sell. Yourself, Tomohiro Ishii, what can the people expect?
Brutal, just absolutely brutal and it but I generally feel like if I win this match could be seen as passing and the torch of like not much of the nickname of the Stone Pitbull because as respected as he is, he's always seen as the most feared on the scene because it's always like of the football terms, he was like how like Stoke like actually was at their peak. It was always like I have to play Stoke. Oh no, win, lose or draw, you actually know like a match a match against Ishii is the fight of your life. That's what I want now. Like that that is the person I need to be now. So then I just know I have to be him. Only so then the torch is passed then of going like I'm the one who's the most feared now.